If you have no idea what you are looking at right now on the screen, if this to you looks like some heavy hacking is happening or something like that, then this video just might be a tad complicated to follow. But in case you want to get to know SVG files better, and if you do know what I'm showing you on the screen, let's talk about it. Let's talk about editing SVG files in text mode. Let's cover the basics first. What is SVG? SVG stands for Scalable Vector Graphics. It is an XML based vector image format for defining two-dimensional graphics. Now, it is important that it is an XML based vector image. Why is that? What is XML? XML in short stands for Extensible Markup Language for encoding documents in a format that is both human readable and machine readable. Let me show you an example. What is this? Now I'm showing you this image, and you as a human, you know this is a circle. But if I want to explain this circle to a computer, I would give him this. This here is an actual XML format of an SVG file expressing the image of a circle. And this is the pure benefit of an SVG file. Let's say I have the image of a circle in SVG file format, and I need to send that file to you so you can have that image as well. But for some reason your server or your company or your system is refusing to accept SVG files, so you cannot receive an SVG files on your computer, on your system. What I could do is just copy paste this text, and I'm sending you this text just as a text in an email or SMS. So I'm sending you a text file. I'm not sending you an image file. Once you receive this text file, all you have to do is save that text with .svg extension. And now if you double click and open it with Inkscape or with PowerPoint and similar programs that can open SVG files, you will actually see an image. So by that logic, if we go back to this mess here, as you can see, this is bunch of text. If SVG is actually an image, so all this text needs to translate into some kind of image. So I'm going to press Ctrl A because I'm on PC, Ctrl C to copy everything, and then I'm going to go to free SVG viewer. This is a website that is free on the internet where you can copy paste your SVG code, and it is going to translate that code into an image, whatever that image is. So let's press Ctrl V here to paste that bunch of text. Okay, so this text here is something. Let's see what it is. Let's scroll and zoom out. What could this be? It's a maze, and it's not just any kind of maze, it is a maze in a shape of a bunny. So all of this here represents this image. So let's say I want to send you this image of a maze. I could just send you this text. You save this text as an SVG file, and as a result you get the image of the maze in the shape of a bunny. So why is this important? If everything here translates into something here, if I want to change it, if I want to modify it, I do not need to have Inkscape. I do not need to have any kind of image processing software. All I need is Notepad, any kind of Notepad, any kind of text editing option, and I just edit text, and when I change the text, I change the end result, I change the image. So let's just go simple example. We see this arrow here. So this arrow here is alone. There's nothing else similar to arrow here on the top. And then I have bunch of lines. And these lines, they have a round tip. So that means everything that I see at the beginning of this document, this text, that is round. See, I have round, 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 round. So that represents all these round lines. So if I'm looking at this and there is something that is not round, that needs to be this arrow. So this arrow here is actually this section of the text. This section of the text here. So let's look at this situation. You have a client, you are a designer, and you have a look bows maze generator, and you have a client, and the client asks you, can you make me 10,000 some mazes in SVG file format in the shape of a bunny? So you have look bows maze generator, you make a couple of clicks, and in 10-15 seconds you have 10,000 mazes. Easy peasy, you deliver your mazes, done deal, fast job. But then after 30 minutes your client changes his mind and he says, okay, I would like arrows to be red. So what you're going to do now? You have 10,000 mazes and the arrows needs to be red. How in the world are you going to open 10,000 files and change all the arrows to be red? Now, we already know that this represents this arrow here. Now we need to look what part of this text is giving computer indication that this arrow is black. So we are looking for RGB segment. RGB stands for red, green, blue. So here it says RGB, and then I have three numbers, 001. So that number indicates a shade of black. So the closer you are to 0, that is black. Closer you are to 255, that is white. So if I have 000, that's black. If I have 255, 255, 255, that's white. Anything in between in a different ratios is one of the shades between red, green, and blue. The order of the letters is also important. RGB means that the first number is red color, so it's a shade of red. Second number indicates shade of green, and the third number indicates shade of blue. So if I increase the value of the first number up to 255, by that logic, this arrow will turn into red. So if I type 200, so I just changed here in this segment, you will notice in a couple of seconds, because it is a big file. You see now it says here 200, and you also see here that the arrow is now red. If I go back and if I change the second number, and if I'm correct, second number should give me, so if I put 200 as a second value, that means this arrow should turn into green because the second number is green. And as you can see, the arrow is now, let's find it, the arrow is now green. So now that I know that I can change text, that I don't have to physically open all of the files, I just need to change this portion of the text in all the files into different number. All I have to do is, let's say I have Notepad++ program or some similar program. I go to search, I go to replace, and I look for 001. That is the old shade of all my arrows, and I change that to 200 00. And if I click now replace all, this is going to replace every single instances of that color 001 into a new shade. And I just click run, replace all, and in matter of seconds every single arrow that was black is going to become red. I do not have to open 10,000 files. I do not have to do any of that sort. Now, how can something like this be handy? Let's say you are making a puzzle book full of mazes for Easter. That's just, Easter is soon, so I'm going to talk about Easter. So this is option number one. You could make your mazes like this. If you do not have kids, if you are not targeting kids, this is okay. This could work. If the person loves mazes, you can make book that is just bunch of mazes. But if you want to target a younger audience, then this, after a couple of minutes, it's going to become boring. So kids are not going to, unless they really love mazes, this is just going to be boring. So mazes, they need to have some kind of interactivity with them. So what you could do is you could create a shaped version of the maze. So that could be your trick. You could have some kind of shape, but the best thing that you could do is give it some theme, give it some goal. So in this case, the child needs to bring bunny to the basket, to the basket that has eggs. So now the kid has a goal, has a reason why to solve the maze. It's not just, okay, I'm drawing a line from this to this end. So you have now 10,000 of mazes such as this one. Easy to create, very, not complicated. But how are you going to add this one and this one to all those mazes? That means that we need to know the difference between this file and this file. So let me go to Notepad again. This, what you see right now, is that first maze that doesn't have bunny and doesn't have basket. And this is the second maze. And if I go to here, you see it says here line 2814, and that is the last line here, line 2814. So everything that is after this line represents that basket and that bunny in the second SVG file. So if I look here, you see it says bunny. So from here I can scroll down, all the way down, and then I have, you see here, I have basket. So everything here, everything that I selected, this text here represents that bunny and represents that basket. So let's see how is that going to look like. Control O, Control C, let's put that in that website. Let's clear this up. Control V. So let me see the image. Okay, so now you can see this here is that maze. Now I'm not going to copy, you see, I'm not going to copy everything here. I'm just going to copy this segment here, this section that represents bunny. Control C. I'm not copying everything, you see, I didn't select everything. I'm just copying the last part of the text file, this part here that has basket and that has bunny, and I'm going to just add this text here at the end. So Control V, and do you see what just happened? Just by adding this text here at the end of the file, I created the bunny and basket into that file. So if there is a way for me to access SVG file in a text format without actually opening the file, I could edit and change and modify everything and anything within the file. For this reason, I prepared two small programs for you. They are free. You can get them on my Gumroad store. The link is down below in the description. So the first program, this one here, is looking for SVG differences. So what I need to put here is I need to find the file that is without the bunny. So this one you see here, let me just make it larger so you can actually see. This file compare, it is something that is going to be part of the Gumroad files. So once you download Gumroad files, you will have these two files so you can do the test yourself. So click on compare one and click open, And modified SVG, that is the file that has something different from the original file. So that means the second one. Second one, as you can see, has bunny and has basket. Let's open it up. So this is the first SVG file. This is the second SVG file that is different. Now, if I click display differences, I'm going to get everything that is different between one file and the other. And as you can see, it is showing me that code that belongs to a basket and that code that belongs to a bunny. Now, what am I going to do with this here? I can copy this to clipboard. If I click here, copy to clipboard, there's difference. And then I can go to here, Control-All to delete this text. You have text instruction. Once you open this program, it is giving you this text here that is instruction how to use the program. It is just a reminder in case you forget. You can read the tutorial in the program itself. So let's Control V, let's paste that text here. And now I need to find text to replace or delete. Now this is where it gets complicated. This is where, as I said at the beginning, it is easy if you already knew about this, if you already know about SVG files. But if you do not know about SVG files, this can be tricky. Now, if I go back here, this is the part that is important. So you see at the end of every SVG file, I need to have an indication so computer knows this is an SVG file and this is the end of the SVG file. So I want to replace this section here, this two, with everything here, everything that is listed here. In order to give you an option to try this for the first time, you're also going to get these two files included. So you're going to get text to replace and you're going to get text to add. So these two files are going to be included in the Gumroad delivery. So open these two notepad files and also you will get 100 mazes. You see these mazes? You have 100 of these mazes included and also solution files for them as well. So that's of course logical. You can use these mazes commercially, you can edit them, you can do whatever you want with them. That's not an issue. Let's go back. So you have this folder. It says test on me. That's the name of the folder with the mazes. Test on me. So what you need to do is text to replace. Let's select that, Control C to copy, go to this program and type here or paste that file. So that is what we want to replace. Here I'm going to Control or and delete this text. And here I'm going to select all of this. So this is text to add. So go here, Control O to copy and paste that here. Now, so this is a text that is going to be replaced and this is a text that is going to be added. And if I now browse test on me, so this is the folder, test, find that file, test on me, select that folder. Let me go back one more time. Do you see the mazes, how they look like right now? So this is clear. We do not have a bunny here, we do not have a basket here, and we have 100 mazes and 100 solution files. So this is how we're going to edit them. We have this tiny little software and we are telling this software to replace this with this. And I'm going to click start. And it says text was updated. And if you look in the background, the reason why it is now showing you slowly, the images are already changed. The reason why each image is being slowly changed in the background is because of the Windows previewer. So this is just previewer making sure that it's going to display each image properly. And you can see now every single file has a bunny and has a basket. So now I modified all the images. The same procedure I can use to change the color, change the shape, change whatever I want. And I also want to emphasize, you cannot do this with PNG file. So if you add PNG image into the SVG file, it's not going to work. Everything has to be vector in order for you to be able to change the file. So everything that you add, everything that you erase, everything that you want to modify, it needs to be an vector graphics inside SVG file. So I cannot have a bunny in a PNG form. I cannot add bunny in a PNG form and then change with the PNG inside SVG. It only has to be SVG. So this drawing of the bunny here is an actually vector file. Yes, it's complicated, I know. I said at the beginning of the video it's complicated, but I have a good news. It's a good news for me. I'm not sure it's good news for you, but I already uploaded to my Gumroad store something similar. So you see you have mazes, but let's check my Gumroad store. I already uploaded something similar. It was not for Easter, it was for Valentine's Day, this one. So SVG mazes with a heart. So I uploaded this when? I believe it was 1 month ago. And I had a feedback from one of my Facebook group members that he successfully managed to do this. So he changed this heart and he placed something in the heart by using this tiny script. So these two tiny programs. So he figured it out. So but 2 months ago he didn't know anything about Python, he didn't know anything about SVG encoding, and he successfully updated his images, his mazes. He upgraded his mazes for his KDP books. So he added customization to all his mazes, and by doing so he made his mazes unique. So it is possible, it can be done. It requires a little bit of research, a little bit of patience, and most importantly making a duplicate of the folder that you are messing with. So in case you make a mistake, you can always use the original folder and try again until you succeed. So it's not going to be 100% easy. It is going to be a lot of trial and error. I'm giving you all the test files so you can try it on. And I believe once you get it running, once you understand what the program is doing, once you get to know SVG files deeper, it's going to be something that you're going to use on a daily basis, literally. That's it. That's the end of this video. If you have any questions that I can answer in the comment section, ask me down below. And as usual, until the next video, I'll see you down below in the comments. Stay safe, everybody. Take care.